Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from whenever you're calling in or wherever you're listening to this recording from. We had an amazing week last week. In fact, to be honest, we've been having an amazing week for the past few weeks. To be honest, I know some of us can see on the platforms. I see some of us that are really catching major pips. Winning it in the market. I think for this few is it this month and last month, market has been really favorable to us. Must really thank God for that. So also just to let us know that it may not always be like this. So if we find this time, let's just take advantage of it. And when we start seeing slowness in the markets, it will be time for us to just kind of step back a bit and do a bit more study and reading and chatting, rather than force ourselves to trade. If we don't see good moves in the markets, signifies a good time for us to just sit back and watch and chat and study. Like I always say, it's a long, we are in here for the long haul. It's not about the quick wins. So for the past few months, 2 to 3 months, market has just been really good to us. So we're just gonna take advantage of it as we see it, and then hopefully it will continue like this. But if it doesn't, all good, all good. We just do the best we can with the little we have, and then wait for when the market comes in and becomes good again for us. I know right now, based on all of the news I've been hearing around, reading about, we are getting very close to a time of recession. So I just really want to encourage everyone to just invest, divest, make sure that you're doing things, not just put all of your eggs in one basket, so that when the recession comes, you would have something to fall back on. You know, Personally, for some of you, this is not just my major business. I don't work for anybody. It's not my only business. I have a whole lot of different things that I do. I dabble in a whole lot of things. I can say I'm an entrepreneur. Forex train. I'm a chef, web designer. Do other businesses on the side as well. Music person. You know what the scripture says. It said, "Cast your bread upon the waters, and after many days, you will receive it." So that pretty much really means that you should just spread it. You don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Just put your money everywhere. If you're working, make sure you're not just working and then finishing. When you work, you come in and eat, then come back to work. Make sure that you're really using the output, or can I say the income you're making, getting from your work, and then putting it in different things. That's what they call investments. You can't just month in, month out, you're doing only one thing. Make sure that you're dabbling in other things. You can't, like I always say, you can't become wealthy working for somebody else. You can only become wealthy working for yourself, meaning you're keeping 100% of your income, not giving it, not making, helping other people to make 100%, and then you will keep peanuts. You need to find time to put your own money into other businesses and opportunities out there. That's the only way you can build wealth, sustainable wealth. Okay, I don't want this to be too long. I think I've already spent like 5 minutes just giving that nugget. Straight up, just to go straight to what we have for the week. Look at the news. As you can only just see, from Monday. Monday is a bank holiday for the Canada and US. US. I know you guys in the US. I don't know what bank holiday that is, but yeah, you have a bank holiday. So that Monday, um, we may not really see strong moves with the dollar and the Canadian dollar as well. But just be on the lookout. Anything can happen. Some bank holidays will see moves in the markets as well. But starting Tuesday, we start seeing some liquidity volatility in the market, beginning with the pound. I'm quite I'm really expecting this week to be fruitful as well, to be quite food firms already seeing some major moves setting up in the market that we're going to look at shortly. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday we have news. Now we don't really. Again, I don't trade news, but the reason why we look at news is just to be able to know whether to stay in the market or to take our profits short. Maybe if we anticipate volatility in the markets, before I mean, while we're in the market, if we anticipate news coming, news release that's going to cause volatility, what we tend to do is either move our stop loss in profit so that we can secure the bag, or just close our charts trade altogether. And then when the news comes and goes, we can, either look for the outcome, trade the outcome, or some people just like the ride, and some people just like to stay and just see what happens. But I do everything, a little bit of everything. Sometimes I just let the market do whatever it needs to do. And if you notice, sometimes the news actually pushes the market, pushes price to where it's supposed to go to, sometimes. But that doesn't happen every time. If anybody tells you that that happens every time, that's a lie. Sometimes news goes the other way. If you were trying to buy the market, you're in good profits, towards the moon, the news comes in and brings everything back, and then goes back up. So it happens like that, But just be aware of how it works in the markets. News just helps you to push the market up or down. But the fundamentals and technicals, they work hand in hand. So we don't put all of our attention on technicals, on the technical part, and then forget fundamentals. And we don't always only put our attentions on the fundamentals. We allow both of them to be our strategy as we trade the forex market. So as you can see, we have a number of news releases, speeches here and there. So just be on the lookout as you trade. Yep. So straight up, let's go straight to our charts. I'm not going to waste time at all. I know I have a number of charts that I want to look at. Personally, I didn't want to look at every one of them. I'm going to try and see as much as I can look at before I close this meeting. I know I'm still going to send out the charts for us to, the charts for us to look at. So first of all, as you can see, we don't trade this pair. This is the Dow Jones. We don't trade it, but I saw a number of people trading it. I myself dabbled into it, sometime last week or last 2 weeks. I think I caught this move somewhere around here. It moves majorly, but it, again, just like crypto, if you do not, if you're not careful, it can wipe you out because the pips are massive as well. But it doesn't move as um volatile. It's not as volatile as crypto is, but it drops good pips. So if you want to take this, if you want to put this as part of your trading plan, you can put that in. But like I always advise for exotic pairs, we try to avoid them just in case we don't have the account to be able to sustain them. So this is Dow Jones for some people. I saw this move happening. So although it didn't get to that turnaround zone, I started dropping. So as you can see, it's getting to that support that I had for it. So if you want to look at that, you can give it a look at. Remember, I don't take trades in the middle. Always wait till trade get to a key support or key resistance level before I take it. Now this is oil. For some of you that traded oil with me, we started somewhere around here and we sold and sold and sold. I think I got out somewhere around here. And then oil kept coming down. So right now I'm looking for oil to come to this level, this 57.90, before pushing back up. So that's some an area you might want to look at. It may even turn around from here. You never know, but just be on the lookout for that level. Gold. Yeah, I was telling someone the other time, they said they saw an inverted head and shoulder here. I was like, I don't think I see an inverted head and shoulder. This is how I like to trade, an inverted head and shoulder. If it has to come like this, I have to see that first impulse has to be a bearish move. Then I see some like this and see some like this. Sometimes the left and right shoulder don't have to be perfect, but for me, for my own rule of head and shoulder to be valid, I need to see something like this. First impulse has to be a bearish move. The same thing with the head and shoulder. The first impulse has to be a bullish move. So this is how I count a head and shoulder. If I see something like this for me is not an inverted head and shoulder. exact example of what we have here. This is not an inverted head and shoulder for me because the impulse leg is not bullish. I mean, it's not bearish, you know. So this is not an inverted head and shoulder for me. Like, see what happened here. You know, I wouldn't classify that as an inverted head and shoulder. Say the thing is this. Let me explain something to you guys. These things are all rules, right? The rules are not set on stones. Like I was telling, I think I was telling D on Friday that if she sees an inverted head and shoulder somewhere, you know, it probably 1,000 other people probably see the same thing, but that doesn't mean that they are all correct. The people that really make the money, that really move this market, are the people that have the money. So even though 1,000 of us see head and shoulder where head and shoulder is not supposed to be, or even where head and shoulder is supposed to be, you know, if the money makers, the market movers, liquidity guys decide to not trade it, then it's not going to move. It's not going to go in that direction. A number of times we've seen double bottoms fail, inverted head and shoulders fail, head and shoulders fail. You know, so these things are just patterns. You know, they are not set on stones. It doesn't mean that every time you see head and shoulder, it's going to win. But the reason why you have them as a rule. You know, I have them as a rule so that I can minimize the rate of failure, so that I don't take anything that represents head and shoulder, or I don't take everything that represents double bottom. So if it doesn't cross out, if my checks, it doesn't tick my boxes, I don't take it. So I take that, I put that out of the picture. I look at the ones that tick my boxes. That way, I minimize my losses. You know, that's just what it is. So these things are not set on stones. Doesn't mean once you see a head and shoulder, you should trade it at every time. You must also look at some other confirmations. Yep, patterns are just patterns. You know, some other things you might need to look at other um, things. You know, is it on at a key support level? What I always like to say is that head and shoulders, double bottoms, and what have you, V bottoms, they are all reversal patterns. You know, if you see them as at a key support level or key resistant levels, those offer greater opportunity, greater trade probability of winning than seeing them in the middle of a move. What do I mean by that? Like if I saw a head and shoulder here, I would take this move. I would take it. You know why? Because this was a major move coming down. Yeah. So, and if you look left, this is like a key support level, you know. Or if it comes to this level, I see a head and shoulder here, I may take it because it's at a key resistant level. Why I'm saying, okay, maybe the market is going to turn at that point. It may fail. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad trader. If it goes above, fantastic. I'll just again look for another trading opportunity, you know. But then I wouldn't classify this as my rule for head and shoulder, because this, I don't see it as a head and shoulder. Head and shoulder is supposed to come like this, you know, go there, go here. But if you call this a head and shoulder, I wouldn't take it because it doesn't cross my own check. And as you can see, it failed as a head and shoulder and started coming down. I'm sorry I spent time talking about that. I just wanted to draw attention to that. So look at this. I'm expecting this to come down to this level and then bounce back to that level. So if you're going to take a trade, this might be a good place to look for a trade when it comes down to that channel, and then you can look for a sell. A buy opportunity to take it to the upside. As for gold, reason because look at that key level. You know, it's been rejecting it. I even saw that. I was even telling the guy, look at this. There are rejections happening here. You know, that means that there's a struggle for the upside. Upside is trying to happen, and the down guys are pulling it back. So just put that into consideration. But it was so concerned about the head and shoulder here, and at the end of the day, and I think one other thing was that I had somebody was telling me that um hold on, please. Who is on here? Who is John Samuel? John Samuel, who is that, please? Okay, because sorry, I don't know who you are. I'm gonna have to remove you. All right. So now I think what they said was that there's a what's it called, a gold rush guy. There's a guy they call Gold Rush was seeing this moving up, you know. But just because they have a name doesn't mean they are always going to be right, you know. As far as I'm concerned, we're all traders. We all see things differently, you know. He's told me a guy, you know, a guy just trades gold and is really good and everything. I don't know who he is. I think he's an AML person, So he saw it going up. So that's why he was so bent on looking at, even when there was everything telling you that this is a key resistant level, and price is rejecting and is at the top of a channel. He kept seeing it going up. So I just told him that, listen, number one, it's not a inverted head and shoulder to me, and it's rejecting. So I'm really looking at the downside. And as you can see, it's dropping. It hasn't gotten to the level yet. Yeah, it may even turn from here, but it's so absolutely fine. That major drop would have been a massive win for some people that wanted to take it from where I saw it from. Yeah, that's 300 plus pips on gold. Anyway, that's that. Straight up to NZD USD. NZD-USD sweet trade. I saw that move. I've been posting this for the past so many weeks. Saw that major structure, resistant, turn support, support, then broke out, then came back. Now resistant happened again. Support became resistant and dropped, and now it's become coming back to that resistant level. As you see what happened. So I said it was going to go there and then drop, and that's basically what happened here. It got to that level and drop. Now, I'm not saying that it's might drop because I don't know what the market is going to do. I'm not a fortune teller, so my opinion based on what I'm seeing. I see this going to that level because of that move, break, retest, and drop, which is the strategy that I trade. Now, something may happen. It may just come to like this. If you look at this on the smaller time frame, look at this now. You see that move? It created a triangle and jumped, created and right. So this may happen again. It may not continue going to the downside. This may happen before that again, before that drop. And then if that happens, that would be another confirmation for a drop, wouldn't it be now? For you guys that understand double tops, that may be another confirmation for a drop, for a double top, for you to trade it down to the downside. But again, this could also happen. Where is it now? Let me go back to this. I don't want to mess this chat up. I have to clean it up before I send it. So that may also happen, and then you see that may be like a pullback, and then you see that jump to that side. Yep. I know some of us that traded this with me, we NZD USD with me. You know what happened. You know where we started from. All of this, we picked this move. We saw this move happen because of this thing that we saw here. That is the same thing that's going to happen. And yes, we took it from here. Some people, I posted in different chats anyway. Some people were saying the buy is going to come down, it's going to come down, because I saw that same thing happening here. Although it came back, pulled back so much, but eventually, what did you see? It jumped massively and got to that level. So yeah, just because it's pulling back doesn't mean that you need to look at the chart on a bigger picture. Don't just take one piece of the puzzle. Look at the full picture so you can see what the whole thing, what is cooking. Yep. I saw that move, these actions happening. That you see that move, and then that drop. See that you can even see yourself drop the same thing, drop same thing. So in my head, I was like, okay, maybe either this thing drops here or it comes back up. Remember, channel is very powerful. You also have to put that in consideration. Channel. So it was at this level. I said, okay, if it doesn't break, what is it going to do? It's going to go back up, and that's exactly what happened here. So that's that one. I'm going to go to the next level, but remember again, what we're looking at for this guy to push up. After forming that triangle, it may push up. Do that triangle, then push up to that side, and from there it could just drop again for that double, give us that double top an opportunity to trade, and then you guys can look for a trade. AUD USD, this trade, everybody in the world is looking at this trade. Why? Because of that long range. That's one of the longest ranges I've seen. So just be on the lookout for that. This move here, it may even be a fake out. You see, it's been coming. That range has been there for like forever. I actually thought it was going to come down. For some of us that saw me when I posted it on the other, when I still used the black and red. Let me see now. Hold on. When I was using the black and red, I was looking for, okay, just wanted to make sure. When I was using the black and red backgrounds, you saw that I wanted this to come all the way to this level. That's why I said possible double bottom. Here I saw this double bottom. If this doesn't happen, then it was a double bottom. Yes, so the double bottom played out. I wanted this to come all the way low here. If it broke that double bottom, the lower price goes, the greater the opportunity for a win. So if it came this level, then this would have still been massive for us. But this double bottom was obeyed. Let me see what else I wrote here. Yeah, break above the trend is highly anticipated. Everyone is really waiting for this to happen. So manipulation is likely. So what I mean is this move here, it may just do that and then come all the way back into that channel, because they know that people are waiting for this channel. They know people are waiting for it to break. In fact, they are going to trade it, but they want to make sure that they collect all of the stop losses and all of the make sure that we retail traders we pay for, you know. So just be on the lookout for that. It may come back in. Why do I say so? Because if you look at this, look at that ascending, what do they call it? Ascending wedge. Is ascending wedge they call it. So look at that. It's going up, and we know that that's what happens when that move. Of course, this thing always breaks out, and it's already breaking out. So maybe this might come all the way back to this level before the bounce, like I posted it before. May come all the way back to this level, because that is what I was really expecting, for it to break out, retest where it broke out from, and then bounce. Now, if I were you, I won't miss this whole move, because this is how far we're going. We're going far into the moon. If I were you, I wouldn't miss this move. All of this downside, you don't really need to bother about it. Just look for how to enter it from the bottom. Opportunity. Even though you don't catch all of this, it's absolutely fine. You might find a good trade from this level and then take it to the moon. It's going up there. I'm really certain that it's going there. But even though it doesn't get there, all of this is a good move. See that see that move to this side, double top and then drop. This may be a neckline for it to come back and retest and then drop further. But even though you miss that move, even though you miss all of this, and you take it from here, it's still a massive win. See, that's still a good win. Almost 200 pips, 199 pips. So even though you take it from here, so just be patient. Don't chase the market. Let it come to you. Don't forget the downside, unless of course it comes back into here, retest that level, and then you can start looking for the downside. But for now, I'm not really looking for the downside. I'm gonna let all of this play out. NZDJPY, same thing. On NZD, let me see the higher move. So, yep, for some of you that also traded this with me, we started from the bottom. Although I didn't catch this bottom, my price faked me out. I wanted it to come all the way out, put my buy limit here. That was one of those painful trades. I had my buy limit because I took it from the top. For some of you that also followed me, I think we were looking for a trade here, and we lost it. We're looking for, yeah, I think it was this double bottom that we wanted, and then price kind of faked us out and then dropped to this level. We took some trade down to this place, and then we took that move to the upside. Price came back down. This is the one I was really, really waiting for. I put my buy limit here, and price came so close to it, as you can see, and then left me behind. So I now looked for another opportunity. So guys, if you miss a trade, look for another opportunity. Don't just jump in. Look for another opportunity to get in, trading opportunity. Because if you have that, what they call FOMO, fear of missing out, what would happen is that you would jump in unnecessarily into a trade and then lose that opportunity, lose the opportunity of getting a good entry. So just wait for the trade to move and set up itself. Even though you don't want to take the trade anymore, it's absolutely fine. Move to the next thing. But don't, because of fear of missing out, jump into a trade, because it's going to hurt you the more. So what I did here was to look at this move. I was like, okay, this might look like something that work out, inverted head and shoulder kind of thing forming. So I took an entry here, and then I see that move, see what happened. So this wasn't even something that pained me anymore, that small move, but because I caught all of that. So now it's reversing. I mean, it's also pulling back, just like we saw in that NZD. I saw this ascending triangle. I was telling everyone, please don't miss this move. Don't miss this move all over the charts. So I know some people caught it, because I think it was the next day we saw that giant candle, go to the upside, and that happened across board. NZD, USD, AUD, USD, everything just happened like that. So just this one too is pulling back now, as you can see here. It's doing that. So I'm expecting this to continue to the upside. So be on the lookout for that. You know, so be on the lookout for that move to the upside, a break above, maybe a retest or something, or it may even just push down a little bit back to that level. Where's my alternate to? May just push back a little bit down. Where are you now? Yep. May just push back down to that level before doing that. But just be on the lookout again. Don't jump into a trade. Get a good entry before, a good confirmation before you make that move. GBP, what's it called now? Yeah, pound yen. Yep. Again, this was someone as well. I told them the pound may be dropping from where it was. I think it was somewhere around here. I told them it may get to this level and drop. So they were very adamant that it was going to go up. I was like, this was a key resistant level that I'm really, really thinking is going to drop because of what has been happening here. There, drop, there, drop, there, drop. And I'm thinking it's going to probably drop again. So, yep. And as you can see, it's already made how many pips drop from where it was? Already made like 180 pips drop. So, I'm not sure if it's going to come all the way down here. So if you're not already in it, I would say wait to get good entry to take it, good confirmation to take it. But I'm not sure. I already have mine in, and my stop loss is already in profit. So even though this goes back, it's absolutely fine. But it may come here, bounce off here, and continue. But if it breaks above, good, good trade. If it breaks above, wait for that retest, and then that's your target, probably first target, and then next, or maybe first target, second target, and third target. But just look out for that chart. It's gonna jump, because it hasn't broken this channel in a while as well. So it may just come back there and then bounce again. Yeah, just be on the lookout for that charts. This may be a good place for you to look for a trade. Could I even put a sell buy limit somewhere here if you choose to, you know, you can choose to. But then if you look at that, your stop loss would be somewhere around here, but it can drop to your smaller time frame to look for. I tend to look for, if the stop loss is this huge, I don't put a buy limit. I don't even want to take the trade unless unless maybe this pushes back a bit, then I can now look for opportunity, because that means my stop loss would be smaller, you know. So that's pound yen. As you can see, that channel broke out, retested, and dropped. Now it's forming like another descending wedge or something. So yeah. And euro odd, man, I don't know how many people traded this pair with me from this top. I guess this was one pair that made me wealthy last. Say wealthy, I'm already speaking like a wealthy person, you know. I entered this trade. I kept, pumping in, putting them in. And again, if you notice some of my trades, I don't use standard lot sizes. I don't need to, because if I can compound, it's good enough for me. So look for different opportunities. That's why you have all of these lines. These lines are not just there for fancy; they are there for you to make use of them. So they could be places where if price touched there before, price will likely get there. So you could look for entries in that place. In that, don't chase the market. Just look for let the market get to key levels before you look for entry opportunities. So yep, price got here, looked for opportunity, got here, looked for opportunity, got here, looked for opportunity. You see them. So it got to this level. I think I did a poll last week for people to decide, help me decide whether to take the trade, to continue letting it, because it was at the key level. At this point, for me, I should have gotten out of the trade. But sometimes greed would tell you, maybe it's going to keep going down. So I had to put out a poll for people to help me decide. A lot of people just told me not to be greedy and take the profit. So I took out my profit. Now, as you can see, it started pulling back, started consolidating. So what I'm waiting for right now, I believe this downside is done. So I'm waiting for price to break above it. As you can see, break above it. And here might still be risky. Here may be a good place to look for trade, or even here to look for trade. It means you're going to be missing all of this, but it's fine. Remember, no fear of missing out. Let trade. It's better to get good confirmation, good confidence that this trade is going to go, than to assume that it's going to go and then miss it, lose it. Although if you enter here, the reward to risk ratio is really good if you enter from here compared to entering from here. So if it breaks above here, retest that level, then that's your trade right there. Stop loss somewhere around here, and then you take it back to that level. Let me see what the higher time frame has. Yep. Okay. So say has a good place. So from here, it could take you back to top here. You never know. And what else? Okay, I thought, okay, broke out of this. So this may even be your TP level before price continues down. Why do I say so? Because this was a trend line that was broken. So price may just do that. Where is it now? Price may just do this. May just go back here. retest that before coming back down. You guys can even see it's really clear. Trend line, break, retest, and then drop. So this is what may happen, but all of this is a trade that you don't want to miss as well. So sorry, undo that again. So what next? Chef, this guy has been messing with was messing with us. It's killed me a number of times. You know, got in, got me out on stop loss, got in some of them major move is coming before I knew it, it's going back up again. So this guy has finally gone back up. That is acting like it's gonna come down. But if you look at it on the higher time frame, you can already see what's happening as a major level. This was to trap to hit people's stop losses. I know people that entered. So we went there, hit our stop losses and then dropped massively, as you can see, and then that's been happening. Now you see that ascending wedge thing happening again. So this is happening, and we know what happened when we have that kind of move. So price normally would bring our Martonate again. So we're expecting price to do the same thing. Probably might even just push up a bit before dropping. So we know that this is supposed to drop. That is the fate of this trade. It is supposed to drop, but it's going to take its time. I'm going to make sure that it takes a lot of people out because that's a key level. So this is supposed to drop. So just wait for that move to happen. I don't know. I'm already in it, though. So just look for an entry. If you maybe breaks and retests of that level, then you can seek to enter it again. It's been kicking us in and out, you know. So that's that one. Chef, Euro Chef, good move. Another good trade that I gave people from here. When it break and retest of that level, guys, take it. Yes, as you can see, broke, retest, and then see that major move. And then again, I said, I gave this as well. This is one entry, second entry, another opportunity. This would have been a second entry anyway. So you see that third entry, break, retest, and then drop. So the break has happened, the retest has happened. So if you're not already in it, you've already missed the entry. Unless you just want to jump in and then your stop loss will be here, but that's quite risky anyway. The best place would have been here, So look at that. Where am I seeing the TP? Yeah, for some people that started this with me, you already saw that this was happening. Let me see now. We saw this move, that price action, that drop, and then this massive channel. So I expected this to come down, and then I knew that this may just be double top even before this happened, and I made that double top, as you can see. Although it didn't touch I had a sell limit here that they missed, but I looked for another entry somewhere around here. So as you can see, it came, but it didn't go to that my sell limit. It missed it by a few pips and then started dropping. So this may just be that move. So as you can see, it's coming down. So I'm expecting it to keep coming down. Let me see where will be the likely. Yeah, I think what I saw was this. See that ascending wedge that I was telling you guys about, that thing. That thing. So you always see that thing. Once you see that thing like that, you see that price is supposed to break down. Now this was one silly break. Should have just broken. I just keep going down. But yeah, it dropped and they pulled it back up again. It now formed a head and shoulder for me. So I saw that head and shoulder happen. That's why I called that trade. So that's the retest drop that happened, and then that come retest again. So I'm measuring it now. This is the head to that neck. My major TP will be this 1.09530 will be my major TP. That's why, as you can see, I measured it, and that's what happened. The same thing happened for my euro odd. Was a measured move. This TP here was different with the level of this, sorry, or the height of this channel. It's been in this consolidation for a while. That's why I measured it, that's going to be the TP, and that's, as you can see, although we missed it by a few pips, but yeah, still good enough. So that's the same thing that's happening here right now. So I believe this is on the downside. I don't know why I love to trade I love to trade the sells more than I love to trade the buys. So as you can see, it's coming down. NZD, same thing, same beautiful thing happening. Now this trade was a crazy one because we were really looking for this 550. Give us a few 400 plus pips. It didn't give us a total 550. Saw that move. If you guys can see, I was really anticipating, waiting for this move to happen. Breakout, retest, and jump to my 550. As you can see, a breakout, a retest, a jump, didn't get to 550. A few pips before that, and then started coming down. So I was really looking for the downside then, and then I saw that move. You can see my write-ups of if it moves a bit lower, then this is the likely bounce level. But it got there, it didn't bounce. Anything below that, then you should be looking for a sell. Bottom of the channel, which is what. So all of this move, I don't think I caught all of this. I can't remember. But then I was really looking at if it breaks anything below that, then it's going to the bottom of the channel. And as you can see, it broke retests. You go retest. I will normally get retest on the smaller time frame, not the bigger ones. So as you can see, retest happening. And then what did you see? It's coming down to the bottom of the channel. I'm still in that trade, so it's coming down to that level, and then we can now start seeing. You see, the reason why these trades are here is so that you can see trading opportunities. Now, as you can see, what's happening here, the bottom bounce, bottom bounce. So if it comes back here, what do you think? It may two possibilities. May bounce is a very very good place to start looking for buy opportunity to the upside. And now, if that fails, is a good place to start looking for sell. Why? Because it's too close. So it means your stop loss is not gonna be so big. It's just as a key level. These are my key levels. I don't like to trade in the middle. I like to look for trades in the higher time. I mean the at the support or the resistance, the supply level, the demand level, so that I can reduce my risk and increase my reward. So if it comes below that, this is your TP. Yep, below that, this is your TP. As you can see them, as you've marked them. Yep. So just be on the lookout. If you're not in this trade, put this as one of your trade to look out for. Just a few more pips before the bottom of that channel. So yeah, just a few more pips, 180 pips, and then you might even want to put a buy limit here, and then yeah, anyhow you want to trade it. What else? What else? Oh man, I don't want to take this. I don't want to make this too long. Euro USD. uh, can I skip this one? Yeah. Somebody wanted me to look at this for them, so I was just looking at possibility of that happening. But this is too risky because of that risk to reward ratio. You can see it's too large because of that deep pullback that you had here. It should have been maybe a 38, but it came all the way to the 88 fib level. So I wouldn't even take this one. But if it comes in, if you can now, the reason why I love this trade is because we started, for some of us that traded this with us, we had that buy limit somewhere here too, but it missed it. We saw this coming all the way. I think we took it here, then it was coming down. We had a buy limit here, but it missed it. Sorry, missed it from here. Uh, what am I saying? Let me see on the higher time frame. Oh yeah, I think this is the one I'm looking at. Let me see. Hold on. Am I correct now? Okay, I think it may actually missed my buy limit. I don't know what happened, but it missed my buy limit. Or did he catch it? I can't remember. But anyways, I took this trade, went there. We saw a double bottom, an inverted head and shoulder forming here, as you can see. It did that, and it came back to that inverted head and shoulder. It didn't really pick. Okay, I think this is the one we missed. Okay, it didn't pick that time inverted head and shoulder. It turned somewhere around here, and then started going. My wife is giving me, is distracting me. Got all the way here, but missed inverted head and shoulder by a few pips, and then went up, although it didn't get to our final TP, then started coming down. So it's now back to that place that it bounced off from. You could start looking for an entry here for the upside, or you could wait, till you have a confirmation. Personally, to be honest, I'm not doing anything with the euro dollar, at all. I'm not really looking at it. There are several other trades that offer more risk to reward ratio. This one as well. I don't know who I was looking at. I think it was Wallet. I was looking at this one for the other time. So yep, a break out of the channel, retest, and you can see that drop, and then this is happening again, but it kept bouncing off this level. So you can wait for, this to finally break out of it if you're not in it already. There's no assurances. Wait for that to happen, and then that. But if that doesn't happen, as you of course you know, the upper side is going to happen, but it's going to go back and then go back into that channel. But if it's too what's it called, like this, uncertain like this, there's no need for you to waste money on it. Just let it go. But if you can, there's no crime in looking for, because right now I feel it's at a good place. This would be your stop loss, your entry somewhere here. Your maybe first TP would be the low of this one, and then you look for your next TP. Let me see what the higher time frames hold. Yep. So this would be your level right here. It keeps coming down. This would be your TP. final TP right here. Why? Because it's in the channel. As you can see the up channel bounce, bounce. So same thing might be happening. Yeah, but you can look for a better trade that offers a better risk to reward ratio. I was looking at this one for somebody again as well, and I said the down upside will look like that, the downside will look like this. As you can see, downside is what is playing out based on that channel that we were looking at as well. But again, most of these trades I won't take them because they don't really look good to me. Yes, USD, dollar yen. If you guys remember, this was a trade we took from, let me see if I can remember this trade. We took that trade. We took that where is it now? This was one good sweet trade. Yeah, this guy right here. We saw that move, that channel, and then we saw that head and shoulder, and I gave that trade. And then some of us that took it took one massively before price started acting out. So right now, this is what is happening. I saw that one happening as well. I think I missed it. I didn't take this move. Forget about it. But I won the downside. I didn't take the I won the upside to the downside. I didn't take the upside from here. So right now, as you can see, but generally, I expect this to come down. As you can see, you know me with us ascending wedge. So I wanted price to do because of that ascending wedge. I want this to come all the way down eventually, you know. And I pointed something out to you guys the other time that look at this. It is at a strong resistant level. Yep, see what happens every time price gets to this level. Bounce there, drop, goes there, drop, goes there, drop, goes there, drop. And now it went there. And what did you see here? A what's it called? This is a shooting star. This is the reversal pattern, this two candle here. And then what did you see? A drop. And for some reason, price when decided to start going back up. But it's all good. The general level, the general move for this thing is a down. So all of this thing that is happening here may just be like this, may just be this, may just go back up there. And then if it gets, I say, guys, if you see this price at this level, don't miss it. Look for an entry to the downside. But I'm not saying throw in a 100 lot size in there and then expect to flip your account. That may not happen. Just be safe. If it gets to this level, your stop loss would be somewhere around here, and then your TP obviously, is down here. That's massive because that's on the weekly. I'm on the weekly now. Let me see. I'm on the daily, so your stop loss will be somewhere around here. Your TP will be back to the bottom of this channel. And that, guys, is where I draw the curtain for this week's analysis. I'm not going to look at any other pair now because of time, and I would send the charts in to you guys if before the end of the before the end of tomorrow as well. I know I have some questions, so but I'm going to stop the recording so that it's not too long. So thank you very much, guys, and have a fantastic trading week.